This influx represents one of the biggest migration movements in modern history. Today, 40% of our population either came here as migrants or were born here of migrant parents. Many of our migrants are poor and cannot speak English when they arrive. The official view is that our migration scheme has been a success, but often migrants are very critical of a country which they say invites them here and then abandons them. This program is part of a series on migrants from non-English speaking countries.
Excuse me, could you serve us beer, please?
What do you want, mate? Many or skin or older than you?
Yeni mi, eski mi? Yenisi daha iyi olur herhalde. We want new, please.
Australian pubs can be friendly places, particularly if you're Australian, if you drink beer and you like to bet on the horses. In Turkey, the usual place to go for a drink with your mates is the coffee shop. But in Australia, it's the local pub. And Asim and his uncle have heard it's where you go to taste a cold beer. A friendly place it may be, but for the Turkish migrant, it's new and so confusing.
Zil var orada. Bas zile bas.
Yeah.
Shut up, please. Shut up.
What? What do you mean coming here telling people to shut up? What do you think it is? Go on, get out, you dirty woke bastard.
Why are you insulting me? Niye söylüyor bu ya?
Listen, I told you before, I'll tell you once more. Get out, you bloody bastard.
Ne biçim insanlar? Bir şarap içki, şarap dememiz. Hiç yani şarap
A simple misunderstanding over an everyday word. Sharap, Turkish for wine. An everyday word for the Turkish migrant, but for the Australian barman, easily taken as an insult. Asim and his uncle Rifat, like most migrants, find that the language barrier is what stands between them and Australians. Asim Iyidilli came from Turkey 2 years ago. He had read a book at English classes describing Australia as a new land with a new life. 13 million people in a land 4 times bigger than Turkey. It made Asim think Australia would give him the sort of life he wanted. So he came here, and although it wasn't all he hoped, he wrote back for Nazmiye, his wife-to-be, to join him in his new life. In Turkey, Asim and Nazmiye were teachers, and they want to work as teachers here. But until they learn sufficient English and gain extra qualifications, they will have to make their living the best way they can. So far, the best for Asim is a brewery where he washes barrels.
It's impossible to learn English in the factory because it's too noisy and because there is not much time to talk to another person. Most workers here are migrants and most don't know English except the swear words. Also, some Australian workers in the factory don't even speak good English. Sometimes I really can't understand them. I am sorry I couldn't begin to study English since my childhood.
Good morning, Professor. How are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
Oh, you're on the soft up again this morning.
Thank you very much. It's quite cold this morning, isn't it?
That's very good, yeah. Good luck.
Sometimes some of my friends call me professor because when I was in Turkey, I was school teacher for 12 years. But I am not professor here. Of course, I would like to become a teacher in Australia because teaching is my profession. And I am not used to the physical jobs.
Mr. Gordon, I would like to talk with you.
Okay.
Would you let me off tomorrow afternoon?
Not tomorrow afternoon?
Yes, from the work.
Oh.
Hey, I would like to see my girlfriend.
Half the blokes in this place would like to see their girlfriend, mate.
But you don't understand. I think she is coming from Turkey first time to the airport tomorrow.
She's coming from Turkey tomorrow?
Yes, first time.
Oh.
If I want to there, she don't know what to do and where to go.
You're going to get married, eh?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well,
But I would like to invite you to my wedding.
Me?
Yes, please. But my invitations are not printed yet. I am going to give you as soon as possible.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
When I first arrived in Australia, I see a lot of things. I feel a lot of things because I left from my country. I finished my life there and my family stayed there and I missed them. I feel myself a little shaking and I am excited because I want to see Asim. I think, how is he? And how will he meet me? And maybe I don't know him, and maybe he doesn't know me. What will we say each other at the meeting?
Thank you.
Then I see Asim. I am very exciting and I have a little bit shaking and I didn't say anything. I couldn't speak and just... and we shake hands each other, that's all. And after that, his uncle there too. And I shake with his uncle. And after Asim opened about talking us, that's all.
Hoş geldiniz. Hatice. Hoş geldin. Hoş geldin teyzem. Teyzen hoş geldin. Teyzen hoş geldin. Hoş geldin. Öpelim kızım ha.
It was so good to see Nazmiye again. I could not believe she was finally with me in Australia. We talked a lot about Turkey and her city and her family.
This is where I come from, Burdur in Turkey. It is not a big city, medium city. I decided to go to Australia to get married with Asim, and my family was sorry because I was leaving. But I am happy to marry Asim, and they are happy about my marriage too. Until Asim and I are married, I am living with his uncle and his aunt. I also have a job now at the dry cleaner. Seems very hard for me because I didn't work before at factory job in my country. I just helped my mother with the house jobs and making Turkish carpet at home. There is this Australian girl who works near me, and her job is pressing trousers too. Every time I nearly finish pressing trousers, she comes near me and she says to me, "It's no good, I have to press for you."
No, they're not good, I'll do them.
She fixed them a little bit and she put them on her line. Because we get bonus for pressing lots of trousers, she gets my bonus. And I can't get bonus. When I go to boss saying about my problem, he doesn't care because I can't explain very well. My English is not enough, and he doesn't care me.
She put her line. She put my brother her line. What can I do? She gets bonus all the time.
Look, we'll fix that. Go back to work now. We'll fix that later, okay? All that complaining.
Uzak dur bana şimdi. Takip et beni. Gel bu yana. Hadi.
On Saturdays, Nazmiye and I teach at the Turkish primary school. The Turkish children in Australia don't speak perfect Turkish, and their parents can't speak good English. They can't understand each other. So, we teach the children their language and about the history and culture of Turkey. And sometimes some Turkish songs and folk dances.
Buraya bak, herkes hazır olsun. Çok severiz, biz müziği diye oradan başlayacağız.
Herkes beraber.
Herkes de elini sallayabilir. Hadi başla. Hazır. Çok severim bizi, ruhumun üzerine. Bunu sevmeyen insanlar bilmem severler diye.
Türk'üm.
Türkiye.
Doğru.
Doğru.
Çalışırım.
Çalışırım.
Yes,
Teachers are quite important person in Turkey. But here, I am not important. Because I am a worker, first of all. I can't become a teacher in Australia. Because schools are different in Turkey.
O Atatürk, sen de Türk, sen de Türk. En büyük Türk Atatürk. Çok güzel. Hadi alkışlayın çocuklar. Çok güzel. Aferin. Sen oku Sevda.
I've been to education department and they said that you have to attend teachers college. I will do that, but I think it will take quite a long time. And I have to save some money, so I have to work. On Sundays, we like to visit places and see things about Australian life. Sometimes also, we go to Turkish things like the geese breasting. It must seem very funny to Australian people, and some things Australian people do seem funny to us.
I like going to the park best, but it is not noisy and crowded like the Turkish park. At the Australian park, you can't speak to some people because they are having a rest, and maybe they don't like noisy. They don't like friends at that time. Maybe they want to be alone at the park.
I find some things funny in the parks and streets of the city. Sometimes there are some couples kissing each other. They are making love in the streets and parks. It's quite strange for me.
It's not good. For me, it must be sacred, love. It must be sacred. If it's sacred, it's very nice for me. I like that.
Hep avcılar gelsin mi? Söyleyin siz şimdi. Hep avcılar gelsin mi?
I often think about Turkey, and I miss my family there. My father works as a carpenter, and my mother makes Turkish carpet at home. She is very well known in Burdur for her carpets, and many people come and buy. My mother and father wanted to see our wedding in Australia, but it is not possible. It is very far and it is too much money. They have written to us. They hope we will be happy and that our wedding will be like in Turkey.
Avustralya'nın nasıl bir yer olduğunu düşünüyorsunuz?
Avustralya çok büyük, güzel, yeşillik, güzel bir kıta olduğunu tahmin ediyoruz.
Peki Nazmiye'yi özlediniz mi? Ve onu yakında görmek ister miydiniz?
İsteriz, çok görmek istiyoruz. Evet.
Nazmiye ve Asım'ın Avustralya'daki düğünleri hakkında ne düşünüyorsunuz? Bizim Türk düğünlerine benzemiş midir acaba?
Türkiye'de olmasını isterdik ama onlar öyle arzu etmişler. Oranın düğünleri de herhalde Türk eğlencelerine, geleneklerine uygun bir düğün olmasını tahmin ediyoruz.
Evet.
Today I am getting married to Nazmiye, and I am very happy because Nazmiye seems very beautiful, and I am so happy to see my friends at my wedding.
We love each other, and Asim invites from his factory and from near his house many friends. I think they are happy today too.
This is the day that I won't forget until the end of my life, and I am very happy.
in home. Good. Just put your hands together on the table. On the table. Put your hands together on the table. That's it. That's it. Now look at me.
We are having many Turkish customs at our wedding, and probably my Australian friends haven't seen a wedding like this before. One custom is where I or my wife put our feet on the other's foot. The one who puts his or her feet on the top of the other will be leader of the family.
my marriage, many things have changed. Asim and I think I should leave from the dry cleaners because they're not fair there. Since then, I have found a new job at Plastics HPM factory, and I work upstairs putting some metal things in a machine. I put 9,000 in the machine each day. It's easy job, but factory is noisy, and I didn't work before in too noisy area. My husband is still in his factory too. I don't like us working like this. He doesn't like factory job. He is unhappy. He would like to become teacher in Australia too, but we must wait.
If I have a good job for me, for example, in my profession, I would like to stay in Australia, because what I thought before when I was in Turkey, that Australia is a new land with a new life. All of them are good. When I learn better English and when we save up some more money, I'll go to teacher's college and then I'll be a teacher again. I do not want to work in the factories the rest of my life.
Asim and Nazmiye are professionally qualified teachers. They, like thousands of other professionally qualified migrants, want to use their skills in this country. For most of them, there is no escape from the soul-destroying routine of the factory assembly line. English courses for migrants appear to be inadequate. And how many people, with or without families, can afford to stop work to go to university or teachers' college and live on the scholarship allowance of $36 a week? Asim and Nazmiye and the many others like them came to Australia to make good. While they are deprived of their chosen careers, Australia is also deprived of a valuable source of talent.
Merhaba, ben de seni bekliyordum. Tam zamanında geldim, iyi olmuş. İşte iyi gitti burası. Biraz yorucu ama gene de iyi.
Bugün Max vardı. Max yazmışlar.
Çok güzel.
Anlatıyor. Yaklaşık 6 sayfa mektup.
İyi, buraya versen de.
Suppose television had been at Galicia.